Alright, this is going to be a quick 2-2 tutorial. I am doing individual level tutorials here, kind of as I get a chance, one or two per week. Had a request to go over 2-2 fairly early, so that's what I'm going to do. So in this first room, you start out pretty close to the ledges. You need to jump pretty much right away. If you take a couple steps forward, it becomes pretty difficult to avoid bonks here. But if you jump right away, room becomes pretty trivial. Character selection is weird in this one. Toad obviously is going to be a little more challenging to use, but faster. Princess and Luigi, and I guess Mario too, although that wouldn't be a super logical choice in this level, cause a lot of lag in the section with all the vases and Cobrats. So I think Toad ends up not being that much harder, in my opinion. So with Toad, the first obstacle here is this Cobrat right here. Standard method is to just kind of jump and then jump again to get onto it. Slightly faster method, and shoutouts to Bagler for finding this cue. See this little dot at the top of the sand that I'm standing on? A full jump from here, and then another full jump will get you on top of that Cobrat. I tend to go neutral on the D-pad for a little bit during this jump onto the Cobrat to make it a little easier. You can go all out and then re-grab the run button and land all the way over here. I usually aim to land in the sand. I also used to do a little turn back on this rib cage to make it a little easier. But honestly, with the Bagler visual cue, I think it's no more difficult to do it without the little turn back. And so on this screen, in general, you're looking to get 2 cherries. So ideally, you'd only want to grab one of these first 2. And then when you come over here, you can grab either of these. Let me give an example of grabbing both cherries and how to... Oh god, I'm just said that was easy to do. So say I grab both. You can either do like a little turn back jump here. Oh god, what am I doing? You can do a little duck jump under here as well. So there are a couple different options, but ideally you don't want to get 3 cherries here. So the rest of the level has some fairly tricky platforming, which I'll try and show as best as I can. So got one, so we're going to grab one of these 2. I do a duck jump over this Cobrat, and then I look to do my next jump onto here, and then I can immediately jump onto that Bezo that just passed over. You can also kind of do like a little turn back and then go onto that one. It makes it a little easier. Not slowing down at all. Oh god, so it's not the pattern you would typically get, but not slowing down at all. Why do I keep shorting that jump? Pay no attention to this. There we go. I just need to hold on to the jump. So I grabbed 2 there, so I'm going to do a little duck jump. And then we're going to jump here. We're going to try and go to here with the next jump after we land in the quicksand. This quicksand here to my left is some of the faster quicksand, like in the one section of 6-2. It really pulls you down quickly, so you want to jump pretty much as soon as you land on that sand and then land here. And then from here, we go to here, and then here. Oh no. And then we're doing full jumps. So a full jump from that second vase will take you to here. And then you want to jump from the second half of this one to clear the shots that come out of this Cobra. And so all together, little duck jump, grab a second cherry. Oh, I missed my jump. I am floundering here. This is the worst tutorial in history. So we're jumping, going here, 1, 2, skip 1, skip 1. And so sometimes that Cobrat will despawn, which makes that jump super easy, but you don't know if it's going to despawn or not until too late. So from that small vase, you always want to jump from the end. And from here, you don't have to jump through there. Holding down, diagonal down when you grab something kind of gets you to your max fall speed a little faster. So rather than just holding left or right to get off that vine, you know, down left or down right is a little faster, but it doesn't make a big difference. Now in this part, there are two digs I'll show. They're basically minor variations of each other. One is pretty easy and the other one is a little faster and kind of a little trickier, but neither are too bad. So we're gonna start by digging over this cherry. After the screen scroll, I dig down 2 and then over to kind of ram myself into this wall, at which point I dig down 2 more. So to the cherry, 2 more, go over, and then down 2 more. So this is the kind of the start of the dig for both the easy and faster strats. When the screen scrolls, you can dig as soon as you land. So typically you have to hesitate a little bit before you can dig twice. After a screen scroll, you can do your next dig as soon as you land. So ideally you don't want to be moving left and right on screen transition tiles, just because that you don't get to take advantage of that immediate dig. So I'll show you the easy one first. So 1, 2, over, 1, 2. We're gonna go over here, second to last tile, right tile, and then the left half of this tile. You see how these Shy Guys go to the left? If I was standing right here, they would move to the right. So the Shy Guys always move towards you when they fall down a level. And then I'll continue on. 1, 2, move over, 1, 2. And then this is gonna be our 5th cherry. You want to dig towards wherever it's going. It'll depend on how you do the first couple screens. And then this way I can just dig straight through this section. And then on. The slightly faster way to do this starts out the same 1, 2, move over, 1, 2. And then I go diagonal to here. You can squeeze in, you can actually squeeze in 2 digs if you're fast. And then you want to get to the left half of this tile right here. But this way you're not running across sand tiles, which is a bit of a time waste. And see that one up there goes to the left. And then from here, it's the same. Now we're just gonna go straight down. So some people will double tap when they dig. I know Ethan RTA is a big fan of that. I tend to just single press, which probably isn't optimal, but it's how I like to do it. Mashing is fine when you're digging straight down for the most part. It's faster if you can time it, but mashing straight down isn't a big deal. But for a lot of these World 2 digs, you need to do some zigzagging as you're digging, and that's a little easier if you can just kind of alternate a left or right tap and a dig. So that's something. And then if the dig ever goes awry, let's see if I can find a good spot to show this off. So I'm not doing this the way I typically do. Like, oh no, I'm floundering here. So if I go 1 to one direction and then 2 to the other direction, it works. This was such a bad example. Let me find a good spot to show this. I go 1 in one direction and then 2 in another direction. So from here I went 1 to the right and then 2 to the left. 1 to the left and then 2 to the right is also pretty good. Now when they then come back, they'll fall down that hole, but it's a really good technique to learn, to go 1 in one direction, 2 in another direction, and that's a good way to save it if you ever are in trouble. Make a save state here, and then this birdo, there are a couple ways to do it. If you get really consistent with the level, you'll know kind of what to expect when you get here. But you can do this a couple ways. You can just throw it back and forth like oh god, like you would in 6-1. So hit, 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 yada yada. Or you can kind of go for a triple bounce type thing like you would do in 6-3. Or you can, go for the bounce kill if you're big, and then go for kind of a standard block kill if you're small. Whatever's going to be comfortable here. You can also use a segment timer if you want to kind of judge where you are in the pattern. I tend to know if I've had a perfectly clean level, I know what I'm going to get. If I've made a small mistake, I know what I'm going to get. So I kind of just... And then if I've made a big mistake or multiple small mistakes, then it's just kind of a free-for-all. But yeah, if you played enough full level, you'll, kind of get a feel for it. I tend to make a save state in the screen transition after the first room, since that one's somewhat trivial, and then just practice the outdoor section and the dig, and then get to Birdo and see what I get. So that's a pretty good way to practice this level. So I don't think I mentioned it during when I was talking about the dig. So the way I learned the dig rhythm is I actually listened to some of the times from the top runners. Cool Kid, Ethan RTA, both have really good dig rhythm. So I would just listen to their World 2s and kind of just, try and press the B button to the same beat that they are. And then that'll, over time, get ingrained in you. When you first switch from mashing to tapping, you'll have some rough digs, but I think it pays off in the long run. You can get away with just mashing in any percent because there's only one dig section and it's not very long. But in all levels, there are 3 digs that are long and then also the 6-1 dig. So being able to, move back and forth to evade enemies is really helpful. But yeah, that's 2-2/quick digging overview. And that's going to do it.